beautiful unicorns, and welcome back to my channel. And finally it is Jaclyn Hill time. Girl, I've been dying to get this palette, and it's not that easy getting Morphe to Sweden, to be honest. All the retailers for Morphe in Sweden, well, in Europe, said that no, we're not getting this palette, so I actually had to order this from the American website. I shipped it to my PO box and then I shipped it to Sweden. I did that because the shipping, you that live in US, you might think Morphe shipping is a joke. Try shipping it outside of US. That's when the true comic begins. So I shipped it to my PO box and I shipped it from there, so that's why my review is getting up a bit late. But I did get my hands on this, and I'm gonna tell you my thoughts, and I'm gonna try and breeze through my thoughts a bit, because since I know that I'm a bit late to this party, I also know that you probably watched a zillion of these reviews and you might not be that interested in minor details like how much does it cost, when does it restock, blah blah blah, because you can get that information at other places like Jaclyn's social media or Morphe's social media, or you can look at Trend1. That Instagram account always has the latest news about all makeup related things, and I really love that account. But I just wanted to tell you like my thoughts behind buying the palette, how I feel about it, and I'm also going to do close-up live swatches in the middle of the video so you can see how the shadows swatch close up, and I can also tell you my thoughts about each and every shade. But did get the palette. It looks like this, and the back it says Morphe X Jaclyn Hill. It is white cardboard like everybody says, and the first thing that struck me, this is the package by the way, the first thing that struck me when I got this palette is, wow, they really skipped on the packaging. This feels so flimsy and cheap. This is made out of that cardboard that doesn't have that shiny surface that makes shadows not stick. This is basically paper. Everything sticks to this. I only used this palette like 4 times now, I think, and it's already looking very janky, and the same on the inside. Oh, it's a plastic cover comes with it. Now that I showed you that, I can throw it. Inside it looks like this. This palette is dedicated to all my loving subscribers. I love the quote, but instead of a mirror you have a quote, and you can see that this is also like paper. Everything sticks to it, so this is gonna look very janky very quickly. I mean, I don't want to seem rude in any way because I love Jaclyn. That is the reason why I bought this palette, but the quality of this packaging, it is not that good. The packaging feels cheaper than BH Cosmetics, because they even put plastic over their cardboard to make it that the makeup won't stick to it. I mean, it's a step up from their plastic packaging. I don't like that either because it's not really luxurious, but they could have taken it one step further, because this palette is way more pricey than the normal Morphe palettes. And let's be honest, we all know that it's not because the shadows are anything special, or that we all know that it's because it's a collab with a famous YouTuber and she needs to get paid. We all know that's why. So let's just not try and sugarcoat it. That's the reason. It's more expensive because this is Jaclyn's palette. That's just the way it is, and I don't mind that. I bought this palette not because I looked at these colors like, ooh, I want to get this palette. I bought this palette because it's Jaclyn's palette. Let's be honest, all of this I already have. Let's not try and make it sound super fancy. This corner here, these 5 shades are so similar. So similar. And this corner here, so similar. And this row here, so similar. So let's just not try and say that, oh, you have everything you need here. I don't think you have everything you need here. And to be honest, all of these shades are not a matte highlight. I'm just saying that this is a Jaclyn palette. It's mostly browns and neutrals, and I'm not really a brown and neutral girl, so I'm not gonna go here and say that the color selection is amazing, because for me, if I did a palette with 35 colors, I wouldn't keep many of these because you know that I'm all about color, and I do feel that there could have been a bit more variation given how many colors she had at hand. But it is a beautiful layout, like it looks really appealing, and I do see myself using this actually quite a lot when doing neutral looks, because I like these neutrally shimmers that have a tone of something. That's really nice. I like doing neutral looks with shimmers. That's really pretty. I still haven't dug into this blue one because I did another look with a bright blue in my lid just like 2 days ago, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give that a break. So I'm gonna give you my view on each and every shade when I swatch them. But so far I've really liked using the shadows. I just feel like some of them are really similar and some of them are not really the kinds of shades that I would have picked if it was my palette. And the packaging, I think they could have done better. And also, do you remember in her video she said that you could get, there was something where the shade names was on, and I didn't get anything where the shade names was on, and I kind of thought they were going to be on the back, or I thought they were going to be on the back of this. I must have been mistaken totally, because I don't have anything that says the shade names. I didn't get that paper that says the shade names, so when I swatch these I won't be able to tell you which is which, because I literally have nothing. Morphe didn't send me anything that says the shade names, so I won't be able to tell you that, and that's a shame. I mean, honestly, couldn't they have put that on the back here? Would that have been so hard? So I don't have anything that shows the shade names. It's a shame because she seems to have put a lot of thoughts into the shade names, and I am not going to be that person that Googles to see what... I shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to bring my phone to be able to see what shadow I'm using. If you name them, put the names on the packaging, otherwise just don't name them, because I just don't get it. But all in all, the shadows are really beautiful, and if you don't have anything similar to this, well, yeah, maybe you should get it. If this palette wasn't in collaboration with Jaclyn Hill, would I have bought it? No. I do think that it is the price point is a bit high, and I think Morphe should really work on their shipping fees, especially internationally, because it's kind of a joke. This cost me a pretty penny to get here, but I love Jaclyn so much that I really want to support her, and I want to get everything that she collabs on. But I wouldn't have bought this palette if it wasn't a Jaclyn Hill palette, because I think I'm not that much into super big palettes that have so many similar shades in them. That's not really my deal. I mean, I'm never going to be able to do a palette on my own, but if I did, I wouldn't do a palette as big as this, because I wouldn't travel with something that's like the size of my head. I wouldn't do that, and this packaging, I bet this would be really janky if you traveled with it. So I'd probably do something smaller, but I do appreciate that she did a more personal take on the Morphe 35 palettes. That is fun. Ooh, I have the old Jaclyn and Morphe palette. Let's bring that out and see if they are similar. This is what the old this we'll call it Jaclyn Hill favorites. She basically took her favorite singles from Morphe and they put it in a palette. This is the normal Morphe, really cheap packaging, and these are the colors that she picked out. Let's open the other one and we can have a peek. So this is what they look like, and as you can see, they are nothing alike. Nothing alike. So if you have this one and you still want to support Jaclyn, you're not going to get duped by buying this one. To be honest, I like this color scheme a lot more. That fuchsia corner is giving me life. I'm loving that orange yellow corner. I really love this palette. This one is even more Jaclyn because it's really neutral, but this one was a really fun palette. I was always hoping that people would vote for this one in my throwback Thursday palette series, but I'm guessing this was like such a rare unicorn that nobody got a hold of it. But if you do have this, it is nothing alike like the new Jaclyn palette, like nothing alike. So you can rest assured that if you get this one, they are not going to be alike at all. And this one has more shadows as well, because I think this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wait, 7 times 4, 28. It has 28 eyeshadows. That took me way too long. Math. But let's get into me swatching all of these shadows and we can just wrap it up a bit afterwards. Okay, we are starting with swatching the first color, which is a very bone-colored shimmer. Nothing wrong with it at all, it's a pretty color. The next one is... Let's get this better. Let's be honest, these two are very similar. I have no idea what both of these are in this palette. I mean, the second one is a bit more yellow, but they're practically the same color. This one is a bit cooler, this is a bit warmer. I wish this one was a matte instead, it would make a lot more sense. The next color is the first matte transition color. It is a pretty color, although as you can see now that I have my tan, it's not really showing up. And this is the second transition color. Same here. These two are so similar. They are nice, they are pigmented, they feel like, I don't know, to be honest, like a ColourPop single or like a Makeup Geek single. That's what they feel like, these mattes. They are not as creamy and pigmented as the Anastasia Beverly Hills, which is one of my favorite formulas for mattes, but they're nice. This one has a bit more of a cooler pinky tone, this one is a bit more of a neutrally slightly warmer, but these are so similar. So similar. I accidentally swatched them in the wrong order, so we are swatching again. These are the pinky shimmery ones. This is really pretty, it's like an icy pink. I do have a nice dupe for this, and I will do a separate video with me duping this palette, like make your own Jaclyn Hill palette, because I have a lot of dupes in the store and I will show you those dupes, but I will do it in a separate video so it doesn't... it's not too much information in one video, so to speak. But all of these three shades are gorgeous. This is a duochrome with a goldy peachy pink. This is a gorgeous, just straight up peach metallic, and this is a light icy pink. I use this as an inner corner highlight because this is more my type than these two in the end. But this is the first row and I really like it, but I wish one of these was a dusty pink transition, because that would make much more sense and make it more versatile, and this one should have been a matte white in my honest opinion. But it is a nice first row. Let's go into the second row. So we are going into the second row and this is the first color. It is a matte mustard yellow. This is really pretty and just enough pigmented to be in the crease and blend it out. This is the second color and this is the third color. I mean, to be honest, I see a difference between the second and the third, but on the eyes, they are not that different. And once again, 35 spaces, I do realize that some of them are similar, but do they really have to be? They do look a bit different when you swatch them, but on the eyes, not that different. This is the fourth color, also a matte. As you can see, these doesn't swatch amazingly, but they actually feel really nice on the eyes. But yeah, they don't swatch amazingly, especially that one, but this one is really nice. I used this on my eyes and I really liked it. You have probably seen this shade on a lot of channels and it turns out looking super red. It is not super red. It is like a bricky reddish brown. To be honest, I don't like when beauty YouTubers have softened skin and really hyped up colors, because when they swatch, the swatches don't end up looking like the palette actually looks like in real life, and I don't really get that, so it's kind of annoying. This shade is beautiful. If you're into red metallics, you're gonna love this one. And the last one on this row is this goldy one. I'm actually not that much into golds. It is a beautiful color though, so if you're into golds, you're gonna like it. I wish it was a bit more yellow, but it is a nice bronzy gold, and you know what, maybe someday I'll be more into golds. So this is a nice reddish warm row, and if you're into warm eyeshadows, you're gonna love this row because it is quite beautiful. Okay peeps, we are getting into the third row, and this first one is like an icy latte shade. Oh, you can see that I got a bit stained by the red metallic one from the previous one. And the second and the third shade are also metallic. So this is like an icy caramelly color. This is more brown and this is even more brown. So this is a good gradient, to be honest. I kind of like these shades, even though I'm not into neutrally shades, but they are good performing and they swatch nicely. I would say that these feel very dense and very creamy, similar to how the creamy dense metallic ones from the Juvia's Place feel. They are really creamy and dense. Super dense, to be honest, which may make some of them not perform as good with a brush, but you can always wet them or go in with your finger. The fourth shade is a matte one. It is like a really warm brown, similar to like a Cocoa Bear from Makeup Geek. Pretty decent quad, to be honest, if you're into neutral shades, which I'm really not, but I do appreciate this one. Next one is that deep reddish brown that people have been dying over. Doesn't swatch amazingly. I haven't actually used this color on my eyes, so I don't really know, but I am guessing that this would work as any of the other mattes, which are pretty nice. This one feels, and this one as well, feels really dry in the pan, which is really common when it comes to reddish eyeshadows. So don't be afraid if you feel that a reddish eyeshadow is a bit dry, because to be honest, all of them are, so that doesn't say really that much about the performance on the eyes. The next color is a matte brown that is kind of cool, super boring to be me. I mean, this shade is not something I'm gonna reach for anytime soon, but I do get why it's in the palette. It's just not really a me shadow. The last shade in the row is a beautiful cranberry metallic, and this one is stunning. Do you see that? I mean, just gonna... It is stunning. So if you're into red metallics, you're gonna love that one. It is absolutely beautiful. This is also a neutral and warm eyeshadow color lover's dream, this third row. So I mean, this is more up my alley, I would say, than the other row, because it is at least a bit red. But yeah, this is not the row that I'm living for, let's be honest here. Now we are getting into the fourth row, and this is definitely more of my colors. I'm sorry if you can hear some background noise. I bet you can, but there's a construction going on across the street. The first one is this super gorgeous foiled purple one, which is actually extremely beautiful. So yeah, I do really like this one. Next one is the color that drew me in. It is this royal blue purple, and it looks really amazing now on the footage. It is a little bit patchy in real life, and you will need some Fix Plus when using this, otherwise you're not gonna get the result that you want. It is way more purple when you swatch it than it looks in the pan. It looks like a gorgeous royal blue. It is not a gorgeous royal blue, it is a gorgeous royal purple, let's be honest here. Next one is another caramelly icy shade. It is beautiful. It is not the kind of shade that I will use anytime soon. It is just a beige metallic. Next one is more of a bronzy brown metallic. It is like a neutrally brown metallic. I actually used this in one of my looks. It is pretty. Didn't think that this would be a shade I use, but it is nice. And these two are more cooler toned than the reddish orangey rose we just saw, so it is a nice switch up. Oh wait, I actually think that this was the shade that I used in my look. It is more of a shimmer than a metallic. If you can see, this has like micro shimmer in it, in like specks of silver, which is beautiful, and I think this was the one I used. This is more metallic, this is more of a shimmery color, and then it's just two dark brown mattes. Oh my god, that swatched horribly. Wait. Yeah, that last color swatches not really nice, and I don't really know why that doesn't feel creamier, to be honest, because it feels really dry, and so does this one. So they don't feel that nice. I think I used one of them on my eyes and it was fine, but to be honest, I have seen so many and felt so many creamy matte browns that I have no idea why these two aren't. So don't really swatch that great. I don't think I have a problem when I used one of them on my eyes, but still, that could be a lot creamier. So that is the fourth row. Loving these two, of course. These are more of a cooler brown section, which is nice, to be honest. It is nice that she has more neutrally or cooler toned browns as well, because not everybody wants to wear orangey red shades on their eyes every day. Do you see how those eyeshadows stayed my arm? Ugh, poor arm. Anyways, these are the shadows of the last row, and these four are the most interesting ones. Look at that one. That is beautiful. I don't think I have anything similar to that. And the second one is beautiful too. It doesn't swatch as beautiful and actually swatches darker than I thought it would, which makes me think that it would fit better with these other two than I thought in the beginning that they would. This one, this is my favorite. Wait, let me smooth it out. This is my favorite shadow in the whole palette. This is so unique. It is like a cool forest green. It is absolutely stunning. I don't have anything remotely similar to this, and this is gorgeous. This is gorgeous too. This one swatches a bit patchy, but to be honest, this is like a pastel shade, although it doesn't swatch that pastel, but normally these colors, when they're matte, they don't swatch that good. I haven't used this one on my eyes, so I'll have to see. This one, it actually works really good on the eyes, although it is not that easy to blend out, but it does go on with a lot of pigment. So these 4 shades are probably my favorite 4 shades in the palette, especially this one. It is beautiful. The last 3 shades are 3 dark matte ones, and I used the black one on my eye, and it is actually not that pigmented, although it swatches pretty okay here. This is the most interesting one. It is like a deep purpley dark one. It's like, it's really nice and interesting, and I mean, again, I would have loved to pair this, one of the pinky metallics, and a pink in the crease. Why isn't there a mid pink in this palette? Why is there a Cillian Browns and no pink? I don't even get it. It just feels like, I don't know, she missed something. I do feel like this palette is missing some mid-tone crease colors that is not beige. To be honest, I feel most palettes miss that. Everybody goes with the oranges, the yellows, and the browns, but there are a lot of other colors you could use as well, so I wish that companies and influencers would realize this, because I'm getting kind of bored here. But I do like this last row. This is my favorite row of the whole palette. I could totally see myself just using this row to create a lot of beautiful looks. So yeah, all in all, I really like this palette. I really like this row. Some shades don't swatch as beautiful as others, some are a bit dry, and I do feel like this palette might be missing a few shades, and that some shades are really similar to each other. But yeah, that was it. Those were all of the swatches. Do let me know which shade interested you the most. Like I said, this one is my favorite one in the whole palette. Let me know which one you feel are your favorite shade in this palette, and which ones you could like be without, to be honest. Let's get back to me. So, what did you think? Did you like the shadows? I must say that I really enjoy most of these shadows. Some of them are way too similar, like I told you, and some of them are really not my cup of tea because they're browns. But all in all, I really love the palette, and if you really feel like this could be something for you, don't be afraid to pick it up. It is not like overhyped that it's not good or anything. It is a good palette, and what is it, like $35 or something? Am I way off? 35, 38, something like that? That is not a lot of money for 35 eyeshadows, and the quality is quite nice. So don't be afraid to pick it up if you really want to. If you are not the biggest fan of Jaclyn and you already have a lot of makeup, maybe I would say don't pick it up, because $35 for something that you might already have could be unnecessary, so to speak. But that is my quick thoughts on the palette. I'm happy I picked it up, mostly because I love Jaclyn. I will link Morphe and the palette down below. I do think that it might be out of stock when this video goes live, but I'm sure that they will bring it back until people have got enough of it, because they're making money out of this, so why wouldn't they? And yeah, I think that was it. If you follow me on Snapchat, you know that yesterday I filmed 3 looks with this palette back to back, which was hard, and then I got so tired, so I couldn't film the actual swatch video. So neither of the 3 looks is this look. I'm just gonna throw it out there. There's gonna be a video up with 3 looks of this palette, and I try to make them a bit more colorful, even though they're not as crazy as with the Magic palette by Juvia's Place. I believe those videos up here in the cards if you want to have a peek. But I try to do 3 kind of different looks and try some new things. But this look is done with another palette, and this tutorial will also be up quite soon. So don't feel like you're missing out on this look. It is coming live as well. And I think that was all I wanted to say. should I have said something else? I just wanted to make this short and sweet because I think you have heard a lot of reviews about the Jaclyn palette, and I just wanted to give my 2 cents and swatch them so you can see what they look like. Tell me down below if you got the palette. Are you thinking about getting the palette? Are you passing on the palette? Why? I'd love to hear your thoughts. You know, I read and answer all your comments. And yeah, I think that was it. Don't forget to subscribe. The button is down below. I do upload videos every week and I'd love to have you. And I will see you in my next one.